The anthology format is an interesting storytelling tool, and My Little Pony Campfire Tales is a pretty good example of how to do it. The story follows the Sister Six getting stuck in a cave after a ravenous swarm attacks them on their annual camping trip. The anthology part of the story kicks in when the girls start telling each other campfire stories to pass the time, and to help Scootaloo be a little less, well, you know. This actually really helps one of the biggest problems with the anthology format, namely, it has a good framing device. For my money, the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes really suffered when they lost their framing device.
They also suffered when they lost their best writers.
The meta-narrative of stories about bravery helping Scootaloo confront her own fears is strongest in the stories of Rockhoof and Flash Magnus. Rockhoof shows a lot of bravery by dealing with a volcano.
You do know it's actually a story about determination, right?
But that's not in service of the meta-narrative as it regards Scootaloo.
Sounds like someone's seeing what he wants to see.
It's my interpretation, and death of the author, moving on. Much like dream sequences, episodes based around stories allow the writers to take us to exciting new areas. And I really like how each story was set with a different historical tradition. Rockhoof is Norse, Mistmane is Korean, and Flash Magnus is Roman. Each story also has a great action set piece. Rating them from best to worst, Magnus is definitely the best. It's the longest and the most in-depth. In order to defeat his scaly foes, Flash has to make use of planning and a nifty fireproof shield. I was also happy to see my favorite dragon war boss return for a cameo. The magic duel between Mistmane and Empress Palpatine was pretty cool, if a little bit short. And well, Rockhoof digs a hole. Granted, lava was involved, but it was just a hole. Now, I obviously need to mention the fantastic art on display in Campfire Tales. All three stories are set in vibrant new locations. Now, most of the time, one new location is enough, but they give us 3 of them.
Do the Dragonlands really count?
Well, that cave is
really
fine. 2 new locations, and a new view on an old location. I also really enjoyed the design on the new characters. Rockhoof and his Norse ponies looked the best, but the Korean-influenced unicorns also looked great. I don't know what happened with the Roman Pegasus ponies, they just didn't look all that cool. Finally, let's talk comedy. And sadly, this is where they really do drop the ball. I mean, they're clearly trying to wring some laughs out of the swarm and Scootaloo being... but it's just not connecting. Mostly Scootaloo's "I'm so scared" shtick is just plain annoying. But there is one gem in all that dirt.
Dragons? Big scary mean ones are like Spike.
Ha! Take that, Spike's self-esteem.
Okay, now it's time to break down the good and the bad in My Little Pony Campfire Stories. On the good side, I like the anthology format, as well as its framing device. The episode had some great action set pieces and pretty art design. On the downside, the overall story regarding Scootaloo getting over her fears felt disjointed from the legends, and the comedy fell mostly flat. This is still a very enjoyable watch, so I give My Little Pony Campfire Stories a 4 out of 5. Now, if you're interested in more reviews of anime, movies, TV shows, comic books, or video games, check out my channel right here on YouTube, and find my Facebook and Deviantart pages for video updates and more. Thank you for watching.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.